Khurram Nawaz Gandapur, honorable guests, dignitaries, flag officers of Pakistan Navy, especially Rear Admiral Azhar Mahmood, Vice Admiral Ahmad Saeed, Honorable Consul Generals, Consul General of Turkey, Consul General of Iran, academics, professors, staff members of Karima, and honorable participants of this beautiful conference. First of all, I would like to congratulate the team members of Karima under the supervision of worthy Vice Chancellor for organizing such a beautiful and I would say successful conference on a very hot and important topic, not just for Pakistan, but for the whole world. And I believe this center has a lot to play as a role in near future for the country in terms of developing and forming policy-related work for the country and the government. So their intellectual efforts in the form of journals and other literature produced by this center would certainly benefit Pakistan and other countries associated and related to the country. Dear audience, I would like to begin my presentation with the verse of Holy Quran in which Allah Almighty states, and He is the one who has subjected the seas as well, so that you may eat fresh seafood from there and may take out from them gems that you wear as ornaments. And O man, you see the vessels and ships that pierce through the water, and all this has managed so that you may look for His bounty, and also that you may become thankful. I believe for a Muslim or a believer, this verse lay the foundation for the development related to the economy, which is called the blue economy. Some might ask, what is blue economy? The blue economy refers to the sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth, improved livelihood, and jobs while preserving the health of ocean ecosystem. It includes various activities such as fishing, shipping, tourism, and energy which is generated from the sea. The idea is to balance economic development from ocean-based industries with a need to protect and maintain the marine environment. The maritime space is one of the preeminent avenues for economic growth on the planet. The gross value of goods produced in coastal and marine areas in the world are valued in billions of dollars. Fisheries produce around 30% of global animal protein intake. Livelihood of millions of small-scale fisher people are created, and countless number of people are employed in associated industries. According to United Nations Environment Program report in 2014, which highlights that 10% increase in global fishery production would result in the increase of around $50 billion annually worldwide in worldwide fishery export. Dear audience, this was a little summary of the worth and the capacity of this sector we all are looking into today. Let's go into the history. So we will see throughout the history, Muslims have played a significant role in boosting the blue economy through their advancements in seafaring, trade, and maritime technologies. Believing in the word of Allah Almighty, from the 8th to 15th century, Muslim seafarers dominated the seas, exploring and mapping vast stretches of the ocean. For example, Ahmad ibn Majid, who was active in the 15th century, was renowned for his expertise in navigation, and his navigational text was popular, named Kitabul Fawaid fi Usulul Ilmul Bahr wal Qawaid, became a cornerstone for us sailors in Indian Ocean. In terms of shipbuilding, the introduction of Latin sail and its subsequent development by Muslim shipbuilders enhanced the agility and speed of ships, which was crucial for guiding in the monsoon winds of Indian Ocean. In fact, Muslim seafarers, traders, scholars from 8th to 15th century set the stage for the connected global economy, contributing significantly to maritime legacy and shaped modern navigation and global trade network. Measurements and navigation at sea was further refined by figures like Al-Khwarizmi and Al-Biruni. Notable explorers and cartographers such as Al-Idris, they were instrumental in producing detailed map that improved the accuracy of sea and land routes. His detailed map, which was called Tabula Georgiana, was an incredible detailed world map that was used extensively by travelers and scholars worldwide. If we talk about Abbasids time period, so under the Abbasids, the Islamic world became an important center for trade, connecting the east and western cities like Baghdad, Cairo, and Cordoba, became the hub for commerce and culture. The development of business class, including merchants like Ibn Habakal, who was a 10th century traveler, writer. He documented various trade routes in his work called Suratul Ard, the face of earth, the work called, which described the economic conditions of Islamic world and beyond. After that, the Ottomans were known for their strong naval power, which was crucial in controlling the Mediterranean and Black Seas. They dominated the Mediterranean during the 16th century by securing Ottoman routes for trade and military movements. The empire's strategic position connected Europe with Asia and Africa, allowing it to control and flourish in the spice trade and other valuable commodities. Dear audience, in 15th century, Ahmad ibn Majid, who was also known as the Lion of the Sea, was an Arabian navigator and poet whose work helped to improve the European navigational techniques. Why we all are looking into this history? So that we could know that wherever we stand today, that wasn't the space and that wasn't the place for the Muslim world. We were something else. But unfortunately, today, our powers related to ocean, navigational powers, technology, shipbuilding powers, and everything else, that is on a different level. Again, this is something we can achieve if we could all come together to develop our technologies, work scientifically hard on unity as well as on our sciences and technologies. So this all can come back. So the person, Ahmad ibn Majid's works basically helps the European navigational techniques. His knowledge was possibly utilized by Vasco da Gama as well, who managed to reach India by circling around the Cape of Good Hope. Another figure, Ali Rais, was an Ottoman admiral and navigator whose writings, including the Mir'atul Memalik, provided a valuable information about Indian Ocean to all these navigators of oceans. Historically, Muslim civilizations dominated maritime trade and technology for several years. However, centuries I would say, however, with the emergence of European power during the age of exploration, the balance shifted towards Western countries. The European advancement in navigation, shipbuilding, and trade networks allowed them to establish colonial empires and dominate global maritime trade as well. As the European nations started experimenting with adapting new technologies like caravel, which allowed for a longer transoceanic voyage, Muslim shipbuildings and navigation techniques began to stagnate. The decline in innovation can be partially attributed to the relative isolation of some Muslim countries and regions from the technological developments occurring in Europe. By the 17th century, European naval forces made Muslim countries and their powers deteriorate. From technological advancements and territorial control of key maritime routes, the Battle of Lepanto in 1571, where a coalition of Western countries decisively defeated the Ottoman Navy, marked a turning point in Mediterranean naval dominance. Moreover, the inability to control piracy and maintain secure trades routes further diminished these Muslim countries' maritime supremacy. What lessons we can learn from this history? The decline in Muslim maritime affairs. The history teaches us a critical lesson about the importance of technological adaptation and political unity in maintaining economic and military power. In contemporary times, there is a renewed interest in revitalizing maritime heritage in a Muslim world. For instance, initiatives like modern reconstruction of traditional dhows in countries like UAE symbolizes a desire to reconnect with the innovative upon their rich maritime history. Additionally, current investments in maritime infrastructure in the Middle East and Southeast Asia indicates a potential for resurgence in maritime activity influenced by historical precedents. Let's talk about Pakistan. Pakistan's geographical location along the Arabian Sea marks its major seaport crucial for trade. The most significant is Karachi Port, which is the oldest and busiest port, handling about 60% of national cargo. The economic impact of Port of Karachi is substantial, contributing significantly to Pakistan's GDP. The port and its related activities are estimated to provide employment to over 500,000 people, both directly and indirectly. This includes jobs in logistics, warehousing, and transport, and other services that support port and maritime operations. As a strategic asset for Pakistan, the Port of Karachi not only facilitates the bulk of Pakistan's maritime trade, but also serves as a critical endpoint for Belt and Road Initiative, enhancing its regional and international trade connectivity. If we talk about Gwadar Port, the Gwadar Port is positioned on the southwestern coast of Pakistan in the Balochistan province, represents a significant strategic and economic asset for the country. It forms a crucial component of a China-Pakistan economic corridor, which aims to facilitate trade along an overland route that connects Gwadar to China by passing longer maritime routes. The operational aspect of Gwadar port is expected to generate substantial employment opportunity for the country, which is estimated to around 40,000 jobs, thus significantly contributing to the local and national economy. Gwadar also holds immense potential as a tourism and investment hub, similarly to the growth seen in Dubai, with its strategic coastal location and picturesque scenery. There is a considerable scope for developing leisure resorts, marina, and leisure facility that can transform the port into a premier tourist destination as well. The development, strategic development includes enhancing infrastructure such as hotels, beach sites, attractions, and recreational areas for the country, which not only boost tourism but also creates numerous job opportunities in hospitality and service sector. Gwadar Port and the China-Pakistan economic corridors are a key to Balochistan's economic transformation as well, making the region a critical hub for maritime and overland routes in Asia. This was something we talked about, which is related to our history, which is related to the potential which Pakistan and its ports carry. Let's talk about some of the challenges we all are facing today. The major challenges include insufficient cargo handling. Pakistan's ports, particularly Karachi Port and Port Qasim, faces with slow and inefficient cargo handling. This is largely due to outdated equipment and manual processes, such as insufficiencies, which can cause significant delays in loading and unloading goods, leading to increased cost and reduced competitiveness in international trade. Limited container capacity. Compared to regional giants like Singapore and Shanghai, Pakistan's port has much lower container handling capacity. This limitation restricts the volume of goods that can be processed, impacting Pakistan's ability to engage in higher volume international trade. Lack of facilities for fishing. The port provides insufficient support facility for fishing industry, such as cold storage, ice plants, and processing units. This lack of infrastructure leads to a decrease in the quality and quantity of fish that can be exported by Pakistan. Poor maintenance is another issue. The fishing harbor, like those in Karachi, often suffer from neglect, with which such a pollution, salation, and indicates waste disposal facilities affecting the overall efficiency and hygiene of fishing operations in the country. Inadequate dredging. Many of Pakistan's ports require dredging to maintain their depth for accommodating large vessels. However, inconsistent and inadequate dredging leads to navigational challenges. Aging infrastructure at the ports. Much of the infrastructure at these ports, including jetties, warehouses, are aging and not well maintained, leading to safety concerns and operational insufficiencies. Lack of automation. Unlike modern ports, which employ automated systems for logistics and cargo handling, Pakistani ports still rely heavily on manual processes. This not only slows down the operations, but also increases the potential for human error as well. Inadequate IT systems. The technological framework for tracking, handling, and clearing cargo is outdated in Pakistan. There is a crucial need for investment in IT infrastructure to streamline operations and improve security and tracking of shipments. Another issue, which is underdeveloped tourist facilities. Ports like Gwadar, despite having a significant potential for tourism due to their scenic coastal links and lines lack the necessary tourist facilities. This includes absence of entertainment, leisure activities, quantity of accommodation, and tourist-friendly services, which other countries who have a beautiful coastal lines, they invest in these kind of facilities, which brings them a lot of revenue related to tourism. But we have been neglecting this sector for a very long time. Security concern is another major issue. Security issues at and around the ports can deter international tourists, impacting the growth of tourism sector linked to maritime activities. So we have talked about challenges. Let's talk about